so far so good. I want to hold my breath, though. Oh, look at that. Well, right away we can see that tree looks a little bit more grown up than it was apparently 7 years ago. And oh, now, hang on. These guys we originally met in the Hyrule Town Market. Well, I guess it's not surprising that they didn't stick around in that area. But they're here now. Wahaha. Look at this guy. Ever since he escaped from Hyrule Castle Town, he's become even more timid. Oh? What's your deal? I tell you, I saw him. I saw the ghostly figure of Dampe the Gravekeeper sinking into his grave. He looked like he was holding some kind of treasure. Interesting. Okay, what else have we got here? Let's do a little exploring here. We gotta see what else is different about the world since we've been gone. All people have hardships in their past that they would rather no one found out about. Look at the bearded man sleeping over there. I bet even someone like him has had his share of troubles in the past. Look at him, the man with the beard. I think he was fired from his job at the ranch. He's always just lazing around morning, noon, and night. He's an awfully carefree guy during such hard times. Oh no, not Talon! He was fired from the ranch? Jesus, a lot has happened. Zzz. Malin doing alright. Mumble, mumble. Sorry to make you worry. Oh no! Oh, God, no! This is terrible! What else has happened? Let's make our way up this way. Oh, well, there's that guy, also from the town market. We can sell sea items to him. So it looks like, hypothetically, everybody that was in Hyrule Town Market is just now shifted over to Hyrule Town Market. Oh, yeah, see, look, here's the bazaar. We could never even get into this house before. Remember, it was just that house where that boy lived that liked to hang out in the graveyard. Now it's apparently the new bazaar. Let's talk to the owner here. We moved here from the castle town. I know times are tough, but I hope you will be a steady customer for us. I hope so too. Shucks. And that soldier guard here that was guarding the entrance up Death Mountain Trail that was now wearing Keaton mask. Looks like he's gone, and now it looks like this house is now the potion shop. Welcome. An old witch runs the potion shop behind this one. You can get to that shop through the door to the left of the counter. Alright, let's check that out. Remember, this area here was always being blocked by a guy who was standing in the way. But now we can just walk over this way. That's interesting. Before, we could always get to this area before, but we had to use a Kuko in order to, like, jump this fence over here. But now we can just waltz right on over, it looks like. And we couldn't get into this area before either. Potion shop. There's another potion shop. I heard that the Lost Woods, where fairies live, is a strange place with many mysterious smells. I wish I could just once make medicine with some of the strange things I might find there. I may not be able to see very well anymore, but my nose still works fine. Yeah, she's got a heck of a schnoz on her, that's for sure. Well, that is interesting also. Alright. Well, let's keep looking around. Don't mind me. I've got an idea here. The last time... oh, first let's talk to this guy. A long time ago, there was a man in this very village who had an eye they said could see the truth. Now, usually, you have to train your mind's eye most strenuously to actually see the truth. But this fella, no. They say he had a different way of doing things. His house stood where the well is now. Oh, that's also very interesting. But of no consequence to us right now. But yeah, I was just going to say, oh, and look right here. Remember here before? There wasn't anything here before. It was just a couple of brick walls and stuff. They were still under construction. It looks like this house has now finally been built. We'll have to check that out at some point later too. Yeah, anyway, I was just going to say, the last time we returned here to the House of Skulltula, we managed to get the Stone of Agony as well as the Giant's Wallet. But we haven't been here since we've had broke the 40 tier of Gold Skulltula tokens. So now we've got 41, so we should maybe make our way back in here and see if there's something else that's changed. Oh, look at that. It looks like we have now freed a 4th Skulltula child from the curse. So, let's see if maybe he'll give us something. The curse has been broken, thank you. Here's a reward for you. Oh, look at that. You got Bomb Chew. Alright, we already had some Bomb Chew and we've used them and Bomb Chew bowling and we know how they work. So not a great prize, but hey, I guess it's better than a kick in the head. So that now means that there's only that 5th and final Skulltula child that we still need to free from the curse, as well as the one grown-up. I'm assuming it's the father of the kids, but and here's that well that we're talking about. Oh, no, that's interesting too. The well in the past was filled with water. Now it appears to be drained. I wonder what that's all about. Huh. And buddy over here. That's a hell of a beard you got. The windmill draws water up from the depth of the well. Now the well is dried up, though. That's exactly what my reaction was. Alright. We're actually going to skip that for now. And, the Cuckoo Lady's still here. We're actually going to skip her for now as well. We're going to come back to both those locations at a later time. So don't worry, I'm not forgetting about it. It's just, there's going to be a more appropriate time to deal with both those things. First, let's check up here. Hey, young man, a grown boy like you entering a person's house without permission? I want to talk to your parents. Oh well, this is basically the same thing when we were a kid. This isn't my house anyway, this is the Great Impa's house. Oh, it was Impa's house all along. The Great Impa has gone to the graveyard to seal up the humongous creature there. Oh. Since Ganondorf appeared, many monsters have been sighted around here. Only the Great Impa has kept peace in our village. You have to remember that, young man. Oh well. Speaking of the Great Impa, she hasn't come back yet. I wonder what happened to her. I heard that the ghost of the Gravekeeper often appears in the graveyard behind this village. Ghost of the Gravekeeper, so I guess that must be the old Dampe. Maybe he's passed away? Oh no. But no big deal. Okay, sure, easy for you to just shrug it off. Let's see what's up here. If anything, there was never anything up here before. Looks like there still isn't. Okie doke. Well, there is still one other area we haven't checked out, which is inside of the windmill. Let's go see what, if anything, is going on in here. Oh, well, he's still here playing his music box, but oh man, instead he always used to be this happy-go-lucky type of character. Now he looks like he's pissed. What's the deal here? Grr. I'll never forget what happened on that day 7 years ago. Grr. It's all that Ocarina kid's fault. What? Next time he comes around here, I'm gonna mess him up. Oh, shit. If I see him, I'll tell him to steer clear of you. Oh, look at that. There's a piece of heart up there. We can't get to it, though. Yet. Alright, well, let's try making our way back to the graveyard, then. Everybody seems to allude to something of significance going on back here. Heart-pounding grave-digging tours are cancelled until a new gravekeeper is found. We apologize for any inconvenience. Oh my goodness. I guess that must mean that Dampe really is gone. Let's check out his hut here. There's his diary. Remember the last time we wrote his diary in here, it said how he found some sort of an interesting treasure with like a spring, and how he thought it was a lot of fun. The Gravekeeper's diary is here. Do you want to read it? Yes. Whoever reads this, please enter my grave. I will let you have my stretching, shrinking keepsake. I'm waiting for you, Dampe. Wow, I guess he really is gone. Enter his grave, though. Huh. Wow. First, we can check up here. Now, oh! First, let's take care of this Poe here. Just so that it doesn't cause us any problems here. I was about to point something out here, so I just don't want this Poe getting in the way of my... look at that. I thought I could stun him with a Deku Nut, but... apparently, Poes are impervious. One more hit ought to do it. Alright. Yeah, I was just going to point out, look at that. Now remember, when we were a child, there was a bean bed here, and we planted a magic bean here. This is the reason for it. This is why we've been doing it all this time, because now that 7 years have passed, that bean that we planted has finally grown up and developed into a magic bean leaf. And the reason why that's significant is because we can actually stand on them and they will ride. They'll float around and give us rides to areas that we couldn't previously reach. So this is the payoff for all that work that we've done running all around Hyrule and planting all of those magic beans. So as our first demonstration of this, if we just stand on top of the leaf, look at that. It gives us a little ride up to this shelf here that we normally couldn't reach before. And there is a lone crate. If we roll into it to break it... oh, look at that. Piece of heart. I've collected 3 pieces. Alright, just one more for a new heart container. Alright, well, we're already not off to a bad start with reaping the benefits of those magic beans and also being a grown-up. Now, you'll recall there are some graves that you can pull back. Over here was one that we already did. This was where we found our original Hylian shield. But now this grave newly has some flowers planted in front of it. So those weren't there before. So that's the hint that we need to indicate that this is the new grave we need to be interested in. So let's pull this one back. And drop down into this grave and see what we can see going on here. Oh, look, it's him! The ghost of Dampe! This was his grave. Hahaha, young man, are you fast on your feet? I may not look like it, but I'm confident in my speed. Let's have a race. Follow me, if you dare. Okay. So this becomes a little, well, like he says, a race. We've got to make sure to keep up with him, is the whole kind of gimmick behind this section here. So, look at that. Right away, we've got a clock that's counting down. And he's throwing flames at us to try to slow us down, too. You've got to make sure not to run into those flames. Not just for the obvious reason, in that it will cause you damage, but also because the recovery time it takes you to get back on your feet again causes you to lose precious seconds. And I'm really not kidding when I say that you've got to put a fair amount of effort into keeping up with this guy. He wasn't lying about his own speed. He actually is quite spry for a dead guy. You can roll too to help make up a few seconds here and there. Look at that, it took us just over a minute to keep up with him. The time of this race was 1 minute and 1 second. Young man, you were very quick to be able to keep up with me. As a reward, I'm going to give you my treasure. It's called the Hookshot. Its spring-loaded chain will pull you to any spot where its hook sticks. Doesn't that sound cool? I'm sure it will help you. I live here now, so come back again sometime. I'll give you something cool. One more thing. Be careful on your way back. Cool. Looks like we got the Hookshot. He says he lives here now. I don't know if that's supposed to be a joke or not, but... or like he inhabits the place. You found the Hookshot. It's a spring-loaded chain that you can cast out to hook things. You can use it to drag distant items toward you, or you can use it to pull yourself towards something. While holding C, you can aim with the stick. Shoot it by releasing C. Interesting. Alright, so let's try equipping that. Let's see how this works. This is neat. Just like the slingshot or the boomerang, if you're not using Z targeting, it switches us to a first-person perspective, and it shows a little red dot there that basically indicates that we can reach what we're aiming at. So if we press and hold the appropriate C button, it sort of loads it up, and then by releasing the button, that will release the chain. And look at that, it springs out and bounces off metal there, it looks like. Now here, I'll look over at this area here. If I just sort of aim like that, you'll see that the red dot misses, which implies that we won't be able to reach whatever it is we're aiming at. So I'll show you that there. See, look at that. Can't get far enough, so it just automatically retracts back. Isn't that interesting? And I'll give you a little demonstration here, too, of how it can latch onto something. So obviously it's just bouncing off the walls here, so that's no good. But take, for example, the chest. The chest is made of wood, so watch what happens when I hook into wood. Whoa! Brings us straight forward to it. How about this torch here? I think the torch, the base is made out of wood. Let's see if that does anything. Yeah, same deal. Brings us straight towards it. That's not bad. Alright, let's make our way out of here. Now there's a big block here, blocking our way immediately. See what Navi says here. Hey, isn't that the same design that's on the Door of Time? It is. So that's our clue, that to get by this obstacle, we have to do what we had to do to pass by the Door of Time, which was to play the Song of Time. So let's try that. Actually, first I'm going to stand a little bit closer before I get out my Ocarina and play the Song of Time. Aha! Look at that. So the Song of Time can now be used to solve those types of puzzles where there's an obstacle with that particular symbol on it. And look at this. Secret entrance back up to inside the windmill. And look, now maybe we can reach that heart piece that we couldn't reach before. Maybe we can just hook into it and drag the heart piece over to us. It doesn't look like we can reach, but maybe we can hook into the platform itself. Look at that. Brings us right over. You got a piece of heart. You've completed another heart container. Your maximum life energy is increased. Alright. Not a moment too soon. We needed as much help as we can get as an adult. Alternately, you can also do this, right? You can just hop onto this little rotating platform here, and then wait until it brings you over to the platform where the heart piece is, and then jump over from there. If you fall down, I'm not sure if you can actually... It looks like this is made of wood, but I'm not sure if you can hook into it. Now, for some weird reason, it looks like it's wood, but it doesn't let you... No, I guess it is metal. It's just like a old kind of rusted looking metal. So you got to make sure not to fall down here if you want to stand a chance of getting that heart piece. No matter though, because even if you do accidentally fall down without getting that heart piece, you're going to get a second chance basically right away here, because we actually want to do what we just did a second time. We want to do that Dampe race with him, only this time we want to kind of bust our ass a little bit more in trying to complete the race quicker. That time I wasn't worried about my time, I was just worried about finishing. But if we manage to finish his race in under a minute, we get a second and different prize. So this time we're going to do a little bit more rolling. Now this is a little bit more tricky because, yeah, doing the roll does give you just a little bit of an teensy bit of a speed boost, but the drawback is that while you're rolling, you're temporarily locked in a direction, so you sacrifice maneuverability, and that can be an issue when he's throwing the flames at you. Remember, you've got to be very nimble and on your feet. Make sure you don't run into those flames. And he only gives you just so much time. I mean, you can remember from our last run, we did it in 1 minute and 1 second, right? And we didn't hit any of the fire along the way. So you only have just barely enough time, basically, to get this job done. So this is going to be tricky. I know I made it look easy last time, but I wasn't really trying. Now that we're going to be trying to break a minute. In fact, actually, I think even if you get it 1 minute flat, that will still count. So a minute or less is what we're trying to break. So this is gonna be tough. I'm gonna have to concentrate for this. Young man, are you faster on your feet? So he says exactly what he says before. All right, let's make our way out and keep an eye out for where he's gonna be dropping those flames. Try our best to give ourselves enough time. Whoa. To be able to see where he's going to be dropping his fire before committing to a roll. That can help us avoid them a little bit better. It's not perfect strategy, but, you know, it'll help. Oh, boy. Alright. I think... Make sure, obviously this goes without saying, not to fall into the chasm, but just be careful when you're running around the edge here. Alright, we just barely made it. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright. See what you got for me this time, Dampe. The time of this race was 58 seconds. You're back, young man. Was the present I gave you fun and useful? Oh, look at that. He drops for us another piece of heart. Alright. So we're already on our way to completing another heart container. Excellent. And I think once we go out this way, yeah, those blocks will... Basically, they remain permanently disappeared, so that's good. And so now you see here, now you get a second chance to make it over to that platform. If you didn't think to use your hookshot, you can just do this. And then wait for it to bring you over this way. Yes, Navi, what would you like? I wonder what's going on in the forest right now. I'm worried about Saria, too. Yes, indeed. So yeah, this is how you would get over here. Okay. So.
Hey! Look! Listen!